Ya ini dia si papa. Temasek. Temasek ni. Tukang. Okay. OB14, yes,
Okay, tidak.
Happy ya. Analysis.
Çabuk.
Thank you, everyone. Before I start, can I just remind everyone where to go to for the toilets? We are not allowed to use the toilets in this compound, so the nearest toilets will be at SPC petrol station outside, as well as Tampines East MRT station. So sorry guys, if any one of you have to use the toilet, you have to go outside. Okay, residents of Tampines GRC, Tampines Changkat SMC, friends and supporters from all over Singapore, good evening and welcome to the second Workers' Party rally for General Election 2025. Thank you, everyone. 但宾尼集选区、但宾尼上域单选区的居民们，以及来自新加坡各地的朋友和支持者们，大家晚上好。 2025年大选工人党的第2场群众大会。I'm Alexis, your MC for tonight. 我是谭佩媛，你们今晚的主持人。Firstly, can I just say that I'm really glad that no one has to brave the element to come see us tonight. And secondly, I feel especially excited to be back here because I've spent almost 25 years in Tampines myself and only moved out 2 years ago. In fact, my first home when I came back to Singapore was right here behind us at Tampines Street 45. So I think I can proudly identify myself as a Tampanesian. So, where are all my Tampanesians tonight? Raise your hands. Anyone from Tampines Changkat? Raise your hand as well. Thank you. I love our Tampines residents' kampong spirit. I mean, after all, what's there not to love about Tampines when we have 3 malls all to ourselves and we don't ever need to go into town for anything? So, before we begin the speeches tonight, can we also have our residents from other GRC identify yourself? Firstly, where are all the Aljunied residents? East Coast residents, where are you? Sengkang residents. Jalan Kayu residents. And my GRC Punggol residents. Wow. Okay, it feels like everyone is everywhere all at once. Okay, but don't worry. Without further delay, let me introduce our first speaker of the night, which is none other than my very same team, my campaign mate, Siti Alia binti Abdul Rahim Mata. Let's welcome her on stage right now from Punggol GRC.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alia Matar, and we're running together with my teammates for Punggol GRC. The same way that our parents worked hard to secure a future for us, it is now our turn to secure a future for the next generation of Singaporeans and the generations to come. One topic that was repeatedly brought up during the house visits that I joined, as well as in just daily conversations that I have with other parents, are the concerns that we as parents have for our children. The ever-increasing cost of living makes parents think twice about having more children. After all, children will need to be fed and clothed. They will incur medical and transportation costs, as well as daycare costs, enrichment costs, and so on. It is no wonder that in 2024, Singapore's total fertility rate was an historic low of 0.97. I have met quite a few young couples who are holding back from starting families as they wait for their BTOs to be completed, while also weighing the cost of each child that they plan to have. The increase in GST, let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, is just one more hurdle that young parents will have to face in deciding whether or not to have more children, if at all. We should consider the exemption of more essential goods from GST, including basic food items. This would ease the effects of inflation for low-income groups and offer relief to middle-income groups who may receive less support from GST vouchers. In terms of housing, we must change the way in which we view HDB flats. They should not be just wealth accumulation vehicles. They should be affordable homes for Singaporeans to live in. HDB prices cannot continue to increase indefinitely. This is not viable for us, for Singapore, and for Singaporeans. One suggested solution to this is to price BTOs based on the median income level of new homeowners rather than the national household median income. This would make BTOs more affordable. We should also consider a 70-year lease for BTO flats instead of the standard 99-year leasehold option, which would necessarily reduce the cost of BTOs. For all other HDB flats, we should introduce a universal buyback scheme by the government for aging HDB flats. With the Workers' Party, we can expect a more balanced government, where different views and proposals are discussed and adopted, where unity in diversity is encouraged and celebrated for the betterment of Singapore as we work for Singapore. Sekarang dalam bahasa Melayu. Salam sejahtera semua. Nama saya Alia Matar. Sebagai seorang ibu yang bekerja, saya faham sangat isu-isu yang dihadapi ibu bapa yang bekerja demi membesarkan anak-anak kita. Sebagaimana ibu bapa kita bekerja keras pada masa lalu untuk menjamin masa depan kita, kini giliran kita pula untuk menjamin masa depan untuk generasi Singapura yang akan datang. Satu topik yang berulang kali dibangkitkan semasa lawatan rumah saya serta dalam perbualan harian saya dengan ibu bapa lain ialah kebimbangan kami sebagai ibu bapa dalam membesarkan anak. Kos sara hidup yang semakin meningkat membuatkan ibu bapa berfikir dua kali untuk mempunyai anak. Anak-anak memerlukan kos harian seperti makanan, pakaian, kos perubatan dan pengangkutan serta kos penjagaan harian dan sebagainya. Tidak hairanlah bahawa pada tahun lalu jumlah kadar kesuburan Singapura adalah paling terendah dalam sejarah, iaitu sebanyak 0.97. Saya telah bertemu dengan beberapa pasangan muda yang menangguh mempunyai anak kerana mereka menunggu BTO mereka sambil menimbang kos setiap anak. Kenaikan GST hanyalah satu lagi halangan yang perlu dihadapi oleh ibu bapa muda dalam memutuskan sama ada untuk mempunyai anak. Kita sepatutnya mengecualikan lebih banyak barangan keperluan daripada GST, termasuk barangan makanan asas. HDB mesti menjadi rumah yang mampu dimiliki oleh semua rakyat Singapura, bukan hanya untuk investmen atau pelaburan. Harga HDB tidak boleh terus meningkat selama-lamanya. Kita juga harus mengurangkan pajakan BTO daripada 99 tahun ke 70 tahun supaya harga BTO akan berkurangan. Untuk flat-flat HDB yang lain, kita sepatutnya mengadakan skim pembelian balik dari kerajaan untuk semua flat HDB yang sudah tua. Dengan parti kami, Parti Pekerja, warga Singapura boleh mendapatkan kerajaan yang lebih seimbang di mana pandangan dan cadangan yang berbeza dibincangkan dan diterima, di mana perpaduan dalam kepelbagaian digalakkan dan diraikan untuk kebaikan warga Singapura pada masa ini dan masa hadapan. Vote the Workers' Party, working for Singapore.
Thank you, Alia. So next up we have our second speaker, who is a candidate for the East Coast GRC. He is none other than Jasper Kwan Hong Wai Kwan Han Wei. Let's welcome him on stage.
是一個鐵器嘅後港人。即種我期望為東海岸嘅居民出聲。Good evening, my fellow Singaporeans. My name is Jasper Kwan. I am a proud resident of Hougang. I have been a volunteer at the Hougang SMC since 2020. I would like to thank Mr. Dennis Tan, Mr. Peng Eng Huat, and of course, Mr. Lau Chia Kiang for their mentorship over the past 5 years in Hougang, allowing me to spread my wings and do this for the East Coast GRC. Tonight, I am honored to stand before you as the Workers' Party candidate for East Coast GRC. Like many Singaporeans, family is the cornerstone of my life. My wife and 3 young children mean the world to me. They are my inspiration, my driving force, and the reason I stand here today. Allow me to share a personal story about my family, one that shaped my decision to step up and run for election under the Workers' Party banner. My wife's parents were originally residents of Hong Kong before they migrated to Singapore more than 30 years ago. It was due to this that my wife and I had the chance to meet, fall in love, and build our family together in Singapore. However, the political situation in Hong Kong has changed dramatically in recent years, leading to yet another exodus of residents after COVID-19. Many of them no longer see Hong Kong as home. Last year, my wife's immediate family gathered in Singapore for a farewell reunion. One family was migrating to UK, while the others were returning to other countries where they are residing now. It was heart-wrenching to watch the elderly hugging one another in the airport departure gate, tears streaming down their eyes, crying as they bid farewell in their long goodbyes. They knew that at this moment, they will be separated by thousands of kilometers, uncertain of when and whether they will meet again. For many of my wife's friends and family from Hong Kong is no longer the home they once loved. Unfortunately, I see similarities here in Singapore. A recent Answers.sg online poll of more than 7,000 Singaporeans in 2024 showed that 61% of Singaporeans are considering leaving abroad, citing challenges like cost of living and pace of life. Ladies and gentlemen, 61%. This was a turning point for me. It made me take a stand. It is easy for the government to view citizens like you and me as mere numbers, a small part of a system driving economic progress. But for individuals like you and me, beyond the act of leaving our country, it shakes the very foundation of who we are. I cannot stay silent while we risk losing the Singapore we love. A country built on the hard work and shared dreams of our forefathers. The Workers' Party want a Singapore that cares about people, not just mere numbers, but a place where everyone feels important and at home. This is the future I want for all of us. A country where we belong, where our blood, sweat, and tears matter, where we are prioritized, and where our children can grow up with hope. I cannot bear the thought of my 3 children leaving our homeland because they have no opportunities here. It will be so painful for me. My fellow Singaporeans, we stand at a pivotal moment. We still have a chance to change our path as a nation. In a few days' time, you will face a choice at the polls. Do you want to continue down the same path year after year, voting the PAP? Do you want to do a flight to safety every time the PAP fearmonger? Will you just accept the GST vouchers the CDC hands out and the labubus and say it's okay? In keeping the same, you will risk an uncertain future for our children. So, will you step up? Will you choose courage? Will you choose hope? Will you choose change? It is time! It is time for Singaporeans to shape our nation's future. It is time to seize this moment to move forward. It is time to build a future for our children by voting the Workers' Party. I will end today's speech by humbly asking for your support to build a Singapore together. A Singapore where we can feel immensely in love with. A Singapore where we can see our children growing up happily in. A Singapore where you are an important part of. The Workers' Party vision for Singapore will ensure we take a step forward in that direction with your vote. A vote for the Workers' Party is a vote not just for yourself, but also a vote for your children and their children. Your vote for the Workers' Party will make it happen. Together, we will work for Singapore. Together, we will succeed. Together, we will make history. Majulah Singapura. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Jasper. That was a really powerful speech. Next up, we have another candidate from the East Coast GRC. Let's welcome Paris V. Parameswari on the stage now.
Good evening, my fellow Singaporeans. How are you? My name is Paris V. Parameswari, and I'm one of the candidates for East Coast GRC. I am a patriotic Singaporean, and I belong to the school of thought which believes that humility, honesty, and integrity are paramount. Born in the Chinese Year of the Tiger, I always see myself as a person with a bold and boisterous personality. I served in the Republic of Singapore Navy as a military woman for 6 years. And I've worked with the United States Navy based in Singapore. I repeat, based in Singapore for 18 years as a security administrator. I did not fly from the United States as many people have assumed. I served those 18 years in Singapore, my motherland. I decided to step down from the US Navy to step up for the Workers' Party. I joined the Workers' Party as I wanted to be part of a dynamic team. I observed that parliamentary questions were asked fearlessly on behalf of Singaporeans by the Workers' Party. I was content that Workers' Party was the right party to join and to start my aspiration of advocating change for a better Singapore. Okay. I am a volunteer with the Singapore Police Force, Singapore Prison Service, and the Institute of Mental Health. I would like to advocate a change for ex-offenders. We can consider better job opportunities for ex-offenders to support their reintegration back into society without a stigma. Does it matter? Of course it matters. Ex-offenders whom I have supervised or spoken to have brought up that they are offered lower paying jobs such as cleaners, drivers, movers, logistic assistants or chefs, and that their criminal records prevent them from getting better jobs despite their educational qualifications or work experiences. Hoping for ex-offenders to reintegrate with society is one thing, but with society's stereotype hanging over them, is it easy for them to reintegrate, especially when they are not offered better job opportunities? Some organizations simply do not employ people with a criminal record. Organizations can be supportive and consider employing the ex-offenders. This would also be in line with the Yellow Ribbon Singapore's initiative to let ex-offenders have a second chance in life by empowering them in their employment journey. Next, I would like to talk about another pressing issue in Singapore, mental health. My degree in psychology has made me understand mental health issues and the difficulties in dealing with them. Mental health issues are real. They can be life-threatening at times. However, society still sees mental health issues as a taboo. There must be a broader awareness through education on mental health to bring about a change in our collective mindsets. We need to be able to assure people with mental health issues that it is okay not to be okay. As stated in our GE2025 manifesto, the government should make regulating mental health professionals a priority, and since those seeking help are by definition already at risk, they should be treated by qualified professionals and not unqualified or unethical individuals claiming to be able to help them. Let me continue in Tamil now for my Tamil supporters. Okay. சக சிங்கப்பூரர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பெயர் பாரிஸ் வி பரமேஸ்வரி. நான் பாட்டாளி கட்சியின் அதாவது ஒர்க்கர்ஸ் பார்ட்டியின் ஈஸ்ட் கோஸ்ட் குழு தொகுதியின் ஒரு வேட்பாளர். நான் தேசப்பற்று கொண்ட ஒரு சிங்கப்பூர் தமிழ் பெண். பணிவு, நேர்மை மற்றும் நீதி ஆகியவை மிக முக்கியமானவை என்று நான் நம்புகிறேன். சீன ஆண்டின் புலி வருடத்தில் பிறந்த நான் மிகவும் தைரியமான மற்றும் துடிப்பான ஒரு பெண். நான் சிங்கப்பூர் கடற்படையில் ஒரு இராணுவ பெண்ணாக 6 ஆண்டுகள் பணியாற்றினேன். சிங்கப்பூரை தளமாக கொண்ட அமெரிக்காவின் கடற்படையில் 18 ஆண்டுகள் பாதுகாப்பு நிர்வாகியாக பணியாற்றினேன். பாட்டாளி கட்சியின் முன்னேற்றத்தை நோக்கி ஒரு படி எடுத்து வைக்க, அதாவது ஸ்டெப் அப் பண்ண நான் பதவி விலகினேன். நான் ஆற்றல் வாய்ந்த அணியின் ஒரு பகுதியாக இருக்க விரும்பியதால் பாட்டாளி கட்சியில் சேர்ந்தேன். சிங்கப்பூரர்களின் சார்பாக பாட்டாளி கட்சியால் நாடாளுமன்ற கேள்விகள் அச்சமின்றி கேட்கப்படுகின்றன. அதை நான் கவனித்தேன். சிறந்த சிங்கப்பூருக்காக மாற்றத்தை உண்டாக்க வேண்டும் என்பது எனது ஆசை. ஆகையால் பாட்டாளி கட்சியில் சேர்ந்துள்ளேன். நான் சிங்கப்பூர் காவல்துறை, சிங்கப்பூர் சிறைச்சாலை மற்றும் IMH மருத்துவ நிலையத்தில் தொண்டூழியராக இருக்கிறேன். முன்னாள் குற்றவாளிகளுக்கு ஒரு மாற்றத்தை ஆதரிக்க நான் விரும்புகிறேன். அவர்களுக்கு சிறந்த வேலை வாய்ப்புகளை நாம் கருத்தில் கொள்ளலாம். இதனால் அவர்களால் ஒரு களங்கம் இல்லாமல் மீண்டும் சமுதாயத்தில் ரீஇன்டிகிரேட் செய்ய முடியும். நான் மேற்பார்வையிட்ட அல்லது பேசிய முன்னாள் குற்றவாளிகள் அவர்களுக்கு கிளீனர்ஸ், டிரைவர்ஸ், மூவர்ஸ், லாஜிஸ்டிக்ஸ் அசிஸ்டன்ட்ஸ் அல்லது செஃப்ஸ் ஆக வேலை வாய்ப்புகள் கிடைக்கின்றன என்பதையும், அவர்களின் கிரிமினல் ரெக்கார்ட் அவர்களின் படிப்பு அல்லது வேலை அனுபவத்தின் அடிப்படையில் வேலை வாய்ப்புகளை பெறுவதை தடுக்கின்றன என்பதையும் கூறினர். முன்னாள் குற்றவாளிகளை மீண்டும் சமுதாயத்தில் ரீஇன்டிகிரேட் செய்ய வேண்டும் என்று நம்புவது ஒன்று, ஆனால் அவர்கள் மீது இவர்கள் இப்படித்தான் என்ற களங்கத்தை சுமத்துவது வேறொன்று. இப்போன்ற முத்திரையை அவர்கள் மீது பதிப்பது சரி இல்லை. அவர்கள் மீண்டும் சமுதாயத்தில் ரீஇன்டிகிரேட் செய்வது சுலபம் இல்லை. சில நிறுவனங்கள் கிரிமினல் ரெக்கார்ட் கொண்டவர்களை வேலைக்கு சேர்ப்பதில்லை. நிறுவனங்கள் முன்னாள் குற்றவாளிகளை பெருந்தன்மையுடன் வேலையில் சேர்ப்பதை கருத்தில் கொள்ளலாம். இது எல்லோ ரிப்பன் சிங்கப்பூரின் குறிக்கோளுக்கு ஏற்ப முன்னாள் குற்றவாளிகளுக்கு வாழ்க்கையில் 2வது வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்து அவர்களின் வேலை வாய்ப்பு பயணத்தில் அவர்களுக்கு அதிகாரம் அளிக்கும் ஒரு வாய்ப்பாகும். Finally, I'm back to English now. Finally, my fellow Singaporeans, are you guys ready for a change? If you want a change, be the change. Make the change. Step up. Vote for the Workers' Party working for Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you, Paris. I'm always so impressed when she speaks Tamil, even though I don't understand anything, but it sounds very proficient. Thank you. So next up, we have another candidate from the Aljunied GRC. His name is Patli Fauzi. Let's welcome him on stage.
Salam sejahtera pengundi-pengundi Singapura. Nama saya Patli Fauzi. Saya telah tinggal di Aljunied GRC selama lebih dari 30 tahun. Sememangnya kawasan ini dikenali sebagai East Coast Eunos GRC ketika itu. Banyak yang telah berubah, tetapi kenangan-kenangan tempat ini masih kekal di ingatan saya. Saya masih ingat mengambil perjalanan saya ke sekolah rendah Jaya setiap pagi. Saya masih ingat mendaki bukit untuk solat Jumaat setiap minggu. Dan pentingnya, saya masih ingat menghadiri penghimpunan Parti Pekerja setiap pilihan raya. Di perhimpunan ini, setiap penceramah ada gaya sendiri, personality sendiri dan pendekatan terhadap politik sendiri. Tapi satu perkara tetap sama. Mereka sentiasa memberi saya harapan. Harapan untuk Singapura yang lebih adil. Harapan untuk Singapura yang lebih penyayang. Dan harapan untuk Singapura yang lebih baik. Sekarang saya amat bertuah berdiri di sini sebagai calon Parti Pekerja sekali lagi. Seorang calon yang bertanding di kampung halamannya sendiri, Aljunied GRC. Dan saya ingin menyampaikan mesej harapan yang sama untuk Singapura yang lebih baik. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, izinkan saya menyampaikan mesej ini dalam bahasa Inggeris kepada semua warga Singapura. Good evening, voters of Singapore. My name is Fadli Fauzi. In 2020, I had the privilege of running in Marine Parade GRC with the Workers' Party. I ran because I believe in a check and balance in Parliament. I ran because I believe that no single party has a monopoly of knowledge in Singapore. And I ran because I believe that choosing for more competition in politics is the best way to make your vote count. That was 5 years ago, and I still believe in those things. But today, I have an additional reason for running with the Workers' Party. 2 years ago, I was blessed with a daughter. It gives me a new mission, and I believe one that all parents would share. Making sure my daughter has a better life than me. And that is why I am proud to stand here once again as a candidate with the Workers' Party, because I believe our party's positions are the right policies. The policies that will work for you. The policies that will work for your family. And the policies that will work for Singapore. I will share two policies that are important to me as a young father with a new family. First, the Workers' Party has called for the extension of childcare leave. Now, parents have 6 days per year for childcare leave, but only for children up to the age of 7. Also, 6 days in 1 year, no matter how many children you have. So if you have 3 children, age 4, 7, and 8, and they always fall sick one after another, you still cannot claim more than 6 days. And worse, they expect the 8-year-old to take care of himself if he falls sick. I ask you, does this make sense? As many families will know, this is not enough. When your 8 or 9-year-old child gets sick and can't go to school, someone will still have to take care of them. Or if you have multiple kids, the current cap of 6 days per year for all of them is far too low, since they often will get sick one after another. That's why we believe that childcare leave should be on a per-child basis and last until the children are 12. Parents should never be forced to choose between losing their job and caring for their sick children. Second, the Workers' Party has called for serious reform of our education system. Today, our kids often top international PISA academic rankings. They are number 1 in mathematics, number 1 in sciences, and number 1 in reading. But at what cost to our children? A NUS study in 2023 found that 1 in 3 teenagers surveyed reported mental health symptoms like depression, anxiety, and loneliness. My fellow Singaporeans, my fellow parents, is this what you want for your children? We have proposed smaller class sizes so every child gets more attention from teachers who can watch out for at-risk behavior. We have proposed a 10-year through train program so that we can spare our children from the great anxiety and stress of having to sit for PSLE at the tender age of 12. This is the way we should take care of our children. The Workers' Party has called for these ideas. But do you think the government will listen to us without your support? So if you believe that raising a child should be affordable, vote for the Workers' Party. If you believe that parents should be able to take care of their sick children, vote for the Workers' Party. If you believe that the kids should have an education system that supports them better, vote for the Workers' Party. So vote for the Workers' Party to make sure we can keep working for you. Vote for the Workers' Party to make sure we can keep working for families. And vote for the Workers' Party to make sure we can keep working for Singapore.
Thank you, Fadli, and thank you for sharing all the changes that we would like to see in the existing system. Next up, we have a candidate from the Tampines GRC that's right here. His name is Tan Kim Taek, 陈清德淡滨尼集选区的候选人，让我们欢迎他上台。
淡滨尼集选区的选民们，淡滨尼上议单选区的选民们，工人党来了！我是陈清德，工人党淡滨尼集选区竞选团队的候选人之一。自我懂事以来，父亲经常会在大选来临的时候提醒我投反对党。我不了解为什么。谢谢。我不知道为什么，也因为对政治没有兴趣，我没有时间顾虑，也没多问。刚服完兵役，学历不高，对我而言，养家糊口是我优先考虑的。至于政策，我觉得身为小市民的我，小人物的我，只能默然接受。我刚步入职场，是从事生产技术员的工作。由于我的底薪低， 身边的同事跟我一样，花了很多时间在加班。我们的生命除了上班就是睡觉。我觉得这不是我向往的人生，所以就上夜校进修，攻读生产管理课程。后来转身进入采购职业。2000年，我做出我人生的职业发展最大的决定，转攻销售领域，从采购转销售，经历许多的困难和压力。经过不懈的努力，终于在这行稳健发展。2009年，我与家人创办工业安全设备贸易公司。创业前期，由于投身不熟悉的领域，业绩拖了3年，才渐渐的好转。这经历让我体会到，要有更好的未来。前期一定有一段煎熬，做出艰难的抉择，才能迎接更好的未来。当工人党在2011年大选拿下安于尼基选区的时候，我开始关注新加坡政治。2015年的大选，当我看到工人党前党魁刘成强先生重新计票时脸上所流露出的压力，我深切的盼望安于尼基选区的选民们能够继续的支持刘成强先生和他的团队，避免新加坡国会民主进程倒退。2016年，国会开始辩论修改宪法，改变民选总统制度。我开始密切关注每一场辩论，结局大家都清楚了解。我看到的是一个一党独大的国会，在缺乏监督的平衡下，任意修改宪法。那年，我终于从我的政治睡梦中苏醒。一个健全的民主国家与社会，不能持续一党独大。我相信国会民主，国家需要忠诚可靠的反对党，监督和制衡执政党，才能享有长久稳健的发展与保障。在面临危机的时候，我们需要可靠的、忠诚的在野势力，进行有效的监督与政策和立法辩论，以确保国家不会踩错一步，同时照顾到社会不同层面的利益。我们不是不劳而获者，不是 free rider。We are not free rider。我们相信国会拥有一个有理智、负责任、有担当的反对党团队，制衡庞大的行政权力，能确保更完善的政策和法律，更可以实现国家之幸福、繁荣与进步，共同努力。 2017年总统大选之后，我决定踏出我的第一步，加入工人党的志工团。晓得我加入工人党后，不少人问我为什么加入工人党和政府作对。我统一的答复是，我加入工人党不是为了反对而反对。当执政党提出有效的政策时，我会支持。但是如果他推出的政策不能够解决人民的顾虑与担忧时，我会提出相应的修改建议，或提交一套以人民为中心和重心的政策替代政策。2020年大选，我有幸被委任为我之前的讲员法律的精神经纪人。看到了，投票是保密的，投票是秘密的。如果你不相信的话，加入我们的志工党，跟我一起见证。在这段家访中，生活成本、租屋价格、教育费、交通费、水电费等等，都是大家密切关注的课题。在2020年国会辩论修改消费税法案时，工人党呼吁政府在疫情过后经济不明朗的通货膨胀严峻的前提下，考虑调整投资回报贡献框架，将国家储备净投资回报贡献的50%改为60%。最终，执政党没有接纳。工人党的中期目标是争取国会1/3以上的国会议席，以确保执政党不能够单方面擅自立定和修改宪法。我相信，在执政党和反对党实力均衡的政治体系下，双方可以推出更以人民为中心和重心的政策。各位丹宾尼集选区的选民们，丹宾尼上域单选区的选民们，我们的国会民主进程需要大家一起出力。5月3日投票箱做出明智的选择，投工人党一票，让工人党为国效劳。谢谢。
谢谢澄清的候选人非常完美的中文演讲。Okay, next up we have another candidate from the East Coast GRC. Let's welcome Sufyan Mikhail Putra Muhammad Kamil on the stage right now.
Thank you, my friends and fellow Singaporeans. Good evening, salam sejahtera, Malay vanakkam, Dacia, Wang Shang Hao. My friends, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Sufyan, and I am one of the candidates for Team East Coast GRC. It is indeed a homecoming moment for me to give my first ever rally speech with you here on this very ground where I attended junior college. I grew up in the East, and for me, all of us Easties gathered here today truly feels like family. Upon leaving college, I applied for a student loan, and since my return from law school, I have been a practicing lawyer for the last few years. Recently, however, I resigned as an associate director of a community-based law firm due to its non-partisan policy in order to contest these elections. While it was indeed a tough personal decision, the call to step up and serve our beloved nation and fellow Singaporeans was too strong to ignore. Therefore, with the blessings of my family, friends, and our party, I am humbled and proud to be standing under the watchful gaze of the hammer symbol as a candidate of the Workers' Party. My fellow Singaporeans, some of you may ask, why vote for the Workers' Party? For those of you out there who are facing this dilemma, let me say this. What we are fighting for is to build a balanced political system with political competition, keeping both sides working harder for you, and with multiple viewpoints debated in Parliament. This is the way to strive for better policy outcomes for you, your families, and for Singapore. As we have highlighted in our manifesto, our presence in Parliament has undoubtedly made an impact in our public policy. And all this with just 10 elected MPs. Imagine what more can be done if me and my fellow candidates are given the chance to be your voice in Parliament. My friends, please allow me to say a few words in Malay. Boleh? Okay, terima kasih. Saudara-saudari, salam sejahtera. Kami dari Parti Pekerja berdiri di sini dengan satu tujuan utama, untuk menjadi suara anda di Parlimen. Kami percaya adalah penting untuk menubuhkan sebuah sistem politik yang seimbang dan bukan hanya satu parti sahaja yang mempunyai kuasa monopoli. Kami juga percaya bahawa idea-idea yang berbeza harus dibahaskan secara meluas. Contohnya, tekanan kos sara hidup pada hari ini adalah krisis yang besar bagi generasi kita, terutamanya yang sebaya dengan saya, yang baru saja hendak memulakan kehidupan kami. Bagi generasi ibu bapa saya pula, yang telah berlama bekerja keras, alangkah baiknya jika mereka dapat bersara dengan selesa dan mempunyai wang simpanan yang cukup. Kenapakah ini harus menjadi sebuah impian saja, sedangkan ia boleh menjadi sebuah kenyataan? Saudara-saudari yang saya hormati, saya ingin memohon anda semua mempertimbangkan usaha Parti Pekerja untuk menubuhkan pembangkang yang boleh menjadi suara anda yang berkesan di Parlimen. Undi anda amatlah penting supaya impian kita menjadi realiti. Pada tahun SG60 ini, marilah kita bersama-sama mencorak haluan negara kita ke arah masyarakat yang lebih demokratik, berdasarkan keadilan dan kesaksamaan. Jangan biarkan ini hanya kekal sebagai aspirasi, tetapi biarlah ianya menjadi realiti untuk kita semua. Sokongan padu anda amat dialu-alukan. Pada hari mengundi, tanpa merasa ragu-ragu, marilah kita bangkit untuk Singapura. My friends, we in the Workers' Party are standing here for one main purpose: to be your voice in Parliament. We believe in a balanced political system in which no one party have a monopoly over talent and ideas. And we believe that different ideas should be debated extensively, and this need is ever more important today. The cost of living pressures today is the crisis of a generation. And especially so for many of my age who are just about to start building our lives. And for those of my parents' generation who worry about their savings and whether they can even afford to retire. And these cost of living pressures were no doubt intensified with a 2% increase in our GST within just one term of parliament. As the leader of the opposition put it best, he's not here yet, but the GST hikes have undoubtedly turbocharged inflation. I could not have said it better myself. My friends, if we do not have elected Workers' Party MPs with a stronger voice in Parliament in this election, will the government truly hear us? My fellow citizens, the PAP has had a supermajority in Parliament for the last 60 years. Ask yourselves, how many backbencher PAP MPs do we really need to have a strong and functioning government? Can they speak any more differently than the other backbencher PAP MPs? Can they or do they vote on legislation any different than the other PAP MPs? My friends, the Workers' Party has been and will continue to be a force for good and commit to continue working constructively with the government to ensure that their policies will always have your best interests at heart. So, please do not worry, for we will be a constructive party and we are ready, willing and able to work with the government for the good of all Singaporeans. I ask that you consider our democratic endeavor to establish a loyal opposition in Parliament that works for the betterment of our people. Let us build a society based on justice and equality so as to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation. Let this not just remain an aspiration, but that it becomes our reality. So my fellow Singaporeans, it is indeed time to step up and make your vote count. And we pledge to fulfill our end of the bargain and keep on working for Singapore. Vote for the Workers' Party. Thank you, terima kasih. Rumbe nandri, sia-sia niman.
Sufyan, you have my utmost respect for quitting your job and stepping up for Singaporean. Next up, we have a candidate from the Tampines GRC. His name is Michael Tang Guang Wei.
Good evening, Tampines. My name is Michael Tung, and I proudly stand before you as a candidate for Tampines GRC under the Workers' Party. I know that this is the first Tampines rally for the Workers' Party, but how many of you, is this your first rally that you've ever attended for the Workers' Party? How many of you are Lao Jiaos and have been here for a long time? I ask because standing amongst you today in this electric atmosphere, I think about the first time I attended my Workers' Party rally in 2006, some 20 years ago. I was a JC student, not TJC. I changed out of my school uniforms to come to Serangoon Stadium. Took the long journey from the west to Serangoon Stadium. And I remember that at that time, in 2006, I had the impression that Singapore was A-OK. That, other than a few troublemakers that we read about sometimes in the papers, Singaporeans were generally happy with how things were. But that night, arriving at Serangoon Stadium, being amongst the many of you who loudly proclaimed your desire for a different Singapore, for a stronger Singapore, for a more inclusive Singapore, my mind was changed. My mind was awoken, and I wanted to learn more about what was going on in my country. How many of you guys were there in 2006? Some. But if not for you, if you did not show up that day, and if you did not embrace me the way you did in 2006, I will not be here today. And so in many ways, I have all of you to thank for my journey to this stage. So thank you. And to the many students who changed out their school uniforms and came to this stadium today, I hope to see many of you on stage here in a couple of years. Now, over the past 15 years, I've seen how the Workers' Party has made a difference. Not through catchy slogans or fancy showmanship, but through real work on real issues. The party has never accepted the false choices that were put forward by the PAP. The PAP once said that we could not support single mothers or it would undermine the family unit. We said we can do better, right? They once said that low-wage workers must stand on their own 2 feet, otherwise they would develop a handout mindset. We said we can do better, right? They once said that political diversity would threaten political stability. But I know, and you know, that we can build a system that is diverse without breaking it. For a small party, we dared to dream big. We rejected these false choices, these false dichotomies. We dragged issues that used to sit on the margins and brought them into the political mainstream. That is why today, we don't ask if retrenched workers need support. We ask what kind of support they should get. That's why we don't ask today if minimum wage protections are needed for our workers. We ask how broad they should be. And that's why we don't ask today why single parent families are treated so differently. We simply have to ask for why they can't be treated fully. And even the PAP is beginning to acknowledge this. Because just last week, they admitted that the government does not have a monopoly on good ideas, that no one does. But then if so, why should they have a monopoly in Parliament? And that's why I stepped forward. It's because I believe in this work and I want to keep building on it. I want a political system where issues can be raised early, openly, and constructively. One that has compassion and where Singaporeans see themselves reflected in it. Not one where data is withheld from us. Or where we are gaslit all the time about what we are seeing. We don't want to be told that the sky is white when we see it is blue. We don't want to be told that raising GST in the middle of record high inflation is good policy when we know it could have been postponed. We don't want to be told that CDC vouchers will make it all okay when we know it is just a band-aid for a gaping wound. We don't want to be told that hawker rental rates do not affect the food prices when we know that doesn't make any sense. We don't want to be told that after $500 million was spent, the best that Singapore can produce when it comes to the ERP is a clunky 3-unit system. I think we're the only country in the world where technology gets bigger, not smaller. And we certainly don't want to be told that if we have more opposition in Parliament, the PAP will have to spend all their time fixing us rather than serving the Singapore people. In my mind, answering the opposition is serving the Singapore people. I want to take a moment to talk to the Tampines residents, who hopefully many of you are gathered here today. You know, I spent the last year talking to many of you, and I'll tell you, the most common thing I hear is why you take so long to come here. So Tampines, we are here. 工人党来了。So come May the 3rd, you will all have a chance to make your voices heard. You will all have a chance to build a better Singapore, a more inclusive Singapore, one where your voices are given equal weight in the policy-making process. So I ask you, will you vote for the Workers' Party? I ask you, will you tell your friends and family to vote for the Workers' Party? Because we can only win if we do this together. If you get your friends together, your family together, people you kind of know who live in Tampines together, and get everybody to vote for the Workers' Party. Tampines, thank you so much for welcoming us. Vote the Workers' Party.
Really,
Michael, for that electrifying speech. That was really good. Okay, but before we go on to the next speaker, can we have people at the back move forward so we can allow more people to come into the rally ground, please? We are getting so popular that like more and more people are just streaming in. 后面的群众，麻烦你们往前挪一挪，因为我们后面还有更多的人要进来。谢谢大家的合作。Thank you everyone for your cooperation. Let's make more space for people at the back to come in. Thank you. Thank you everyone. So we have our next speaker, who is none other than our Workers' Party chairperson, Sylvia Lim Sui Lian. 工人党主席林瑞莲女士，欢迎她上台。
Good evening, fellow Singaporeans, and especially residents of Aljunied, Hougang, Sengkang, Punggol, Jalan Kayu, East Coast, Tampines, and Tampines Changkat. Wow! Thank you. You know, it's been about 10 years since my last rally speech. A lot has changed since then. The last time I stood on this stage, I still had black hair. Now, I stand here as a proud holder of a Passion Silver Card. And I also somehow managed to get married. He's here somewhere. Thank you very much. So my friends, tonight, my speech is about senior citizens. It is dedicated to all my fellow seniors here in this rally and to the thousands more watching online and on their phones. And it also matters to everyone who cares for our seniors in your families and in the community. The march of time is something none of us can avoid. We will all grow old someday, and the challenges facing seniors today will be faced by everyone, sooner or later. And part of the privilege of being an MP for the last 14 years is growing older with our residents, sharing their joys and tribulations as we enter the next stage of our lives. So this is the Workers' Party's commitment to all seniors, present and future. We will continue to stand alongside you to fight for your interests in Parliament, because Singapore would be nothing without you. Now, let me outline 3 key policies for seniors that the Workers' Party will fight for. First, on the use of MediSave. We call for seniors over 60 years old to be allowed to use their MediSave to pay for all medical expenses not already covered by MediShield Life, MediFund, or other assistance schemes. Such usage should only be permitted at government polyclinics, specialist outpatient clinics, and CHAS clinics in the public sector, and CHAS clinics. For chronic diseases such as diabetes and hypertension, we call for the current spending limits of $500 or $700 per year to be removed. Frankly, I don't understand why this is not already the case. Instead, once your annual spending limits are reached, you will have to pay cash out of pocket or ask your children for help, even though you have MediSave balances. Many retirees have no income. Since the money in your MediSave account is your money, why can't you use it to pay for your own essential treatments? Second, we will call for the statutory retirement age to be abolished. What this means is that you should be allowed to work so long as you're able and willing to work. Of course, we are not saying that you must work till you die. What we are saying is that there should be no artificial ceiling on when you should retire. So long as you wish to work and you're able to perform, you should decide when to stop. The current statutory retirement age is 63. There are many of us in our 60s. Is it really the case that we suddenly become less able to do our jobs once we reach our 63rd birthday? If you look at the government, are there not PAP ministers who are already past the statutory retirement age? My friends, Parliament passed the Workplace Fairness Law in January this year. Soon, older employees will have this law to protect them against age discrimination. So it's time to remove the statutory retirement age. Let older employees contribute and lead productive lives. Our third proposal is for caregivers. These are family members who provide loving care for our seniors at home. Some are doing so while juggling work commitments. I met one such lady at a coffee shop at Serangoon North yesterday. She asked me why caring for elderly parents was not treated the same way as childcare in terms of having paid leave. You know, in the PAP manifesto, there is one sentence about caregivers. It reads, "Strengthen support for caregivers, the unsung heroes in our families." There are no details stated about how this will be done. Unlike their one line, we have in our manifesto a concrete proposal to assist caregivers in the form of family care leave. We propose that caregivers should be able to take paid time off to bring their elderly parents for medical appointments and so on. The cost for this should be shared equally by both employers and the government. This will send a signal that society values our seniors being cared for at home by loved ones, like that filial daughter I met at the coffee shop. Friends, these are just 3 of the many proposals in the Workers' Party has put forward for our seniors. But if I were to summarize within a single sentence, the goal of the Workers' Party is to enable our seniors to live their golden years with security, dignity, and purpose. We do not want a Singapore where seniors and their caregivers have to worry and make compromises every day just to survive. So, how can we Singaporeans bring about the changes we need? You can see how having competition makes the PAP pay more attention to you. One man recently shared his opinion with me in Chinese. 如果没有反对党，哪里有钱呢？ You know, I've been in parliament for 19 years. It was just Mr. Lau Tia Kiang and myself at first. But Singaporeans understood the need to send more WP MPs into parliament. Step by step, from our unit in 2011, then 9 years later in Sengkang, you have seen your voice growing louder and louder. And you have also sown the seeds for fellow Singaporeans to step up. Just look at the candidates we have on stage today. So I say this to you, my fellow citizens. This election in 2025, remind the government that it was seniors who built this country. Send a strong signal that more needs to be done for seniors to live with security, dignity, and purpose. So come 3rd of May, make your vote count. At this election, let's create our own kind of silver tsunami. Vote for the Workers' Party, working for Singapore.
Thank you, Sylvia, and thank you for your contribution as one of the longest serving MP from the Workers' Party. Thank you for your contribution to Singapore's democracy. Our next speaker is the candidate from the East Coast GRC. He is Nathaniel Ko Kim Kwei Xu Jingwei 先生. Let's welcome him on stage.
Fellow Singaporeans, voters of East Coast GRC, voters everywhere, whether you are watching online or here in person in this rally site or in the blogs out there, thank you for joining us. As I look at each face in this rally, I see each of you as a unique person. Each of you touch your heart, have your own story to tell, your own pleasures and pressures of life. And you are here because you want a better future for yourself and your family. You are here because you believe in a future where your hopes and your dreams can be fulfilled. You are here because you know that Singapore's future, your future, is too important to leave in the hands of one single party that has been too dominant for too long. For many years, we have walked with you in your homes, in your void decks, in your coffee shops, in your hawker centers. You shared with us your stories, your struggles, your hopes. You spoke about the rising cost of living. You spoke about the challenges of finding affordable housing. You spoke about childcare, healthcare, and getting meaningful jobs with a fair salary. Those are not just policy issues for politicians. Those are the realities you face every single day of your life. Public transport fares have gone up. Food prices have gone up. Everything has gone up. But your incomes have not. And even if they have, chances are they have not kept up with your cost of living. Chances are they have not kept up with your stage of life. Whether it may be caring for your elderly parents, looking after your young children, or just having enough to live on and to save for your golden years. I get it. My wife and I have been married for 11 years. We have 2 young sons, 5 years and 1 year. We have elderly mothers in their mid-70s. We live in a BTO. We take public transport every day. We want the best for ourselves, our family, our children, our country. You want the best for yourself, your family, your children, your country, Singapore. And to be your best, let's find ways to manage one of the key stresses of life, cost of living. A show of hands. How many of you are feeling hungry right now? I'm feeling hungry too. My stomach is rumbling. And I'm sure our candidates here are hungry as well. They are hungry to serve you on the ground and in Parliament. Talking about hunger. Let's talk about every Singaporean's favorite topic. What is it? Yes, that's right. Food. What do you need to prepare food? Okay, money. What else? Ingredients. Rice, noodles, eggs, cooking oil, salt, pepper, and many more. Those are some essential food items. Let's exempt GST from them. We can do it. Singapore already has a list of items that are exempt from GST, like gold and silver. So if gold and silver can be exempted from GST, why not rice and cooking oil? We can do it. Another show of hands. How many of you eat at coffee shops? I'm sure everybody does. If you raise your hand, if you do, yeah, or raise your hand in your heart also can. And anyone knows how many coffee shops there are? Give a guess, give a number. All right, about 800. Half owned by HDB, half owned by private operators. Between 2019 and 2024, HDB kept rents stable for most of the coffee shops they own. And when rents stay stable, food prices tend to stay stable too. It makes sense. So if stable rents help keep food prices stable, why not bring coffee shops back to HDB? We can do it. HDB used to own all the coffee shops until it started to sell them to private operators. But in 1998, HDB stopped selling coffee shops to private operators. They saw something there. And we think it's time for HDB to take back the coffee shops. We can do it. Those are just a couple of the policy proposals we have to help you manage the cost of living. And those proposals can be advanced even more with more Workers' Party MPs in Parliament. We don't need one party to have all the power. We need balance. We need accountability. We need representation. Let's shape a better future for all Singaporeans. We can do it. So come 3rd of May, vote with hope, vote with pride, vote Workers' Party, working for Singapore.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Nathaniel, for the very thought-provoking speech. Next up, we have our very special SMC candidate, Kenneth Fu Sekwan, who will be contesting in the Tampines Changkat SMC 但兵女上玉单选区的候选人福测官。
dear voters of Tampines GRC and Tampines Changkat GRC, SMC, sorry. Your wait is over. The Workers' Party is here. We have a lot of supporters by the stands today. Can you make some noise for us? Thank you. I'm Fusek Guan, Kenneth, the Workers' Party candidate for Tampines Changkat SMC. Before I continue, please allow me to say a few words in our national language, Malay. I apologize as this may not be the smoothest Malay speech, just like your recent MRT incidents that happened as well. I had the same encounters because I also take train and bus. I don't own 2 cars. Salam sejahtera Tampines Changkat. Selamat malam, teman-teman dan warga negara Singapura. Saya berbesar hati berdiri sebagai calon anda. Saya berbesar hati bekerja bersama anda. Saya berbesar hati kerana diberi kesempatan untuk mewakili anda. Sokonglah Parti Pekerja. Undilah Parti Pekerja. Suara anda di Parlimen bekerja untuk Singapura. Thank you. In the past, Tampines was one GRC. After the last electoral boundary review, you got split into 2. Feels like East and West Germany, North and South Korea. But don't worry, the Workers' Party has a plan. It is called the Tampines Plan. You, voters, vote in all the WP candidates in Tampines, including me, and we'll form one town council. Make us one big family under one roof. Some of you may know I contested in East Coast GRC in 2020. Residents asked me, "Hey Kenneth, how come Tampines Changkat?" I asked myself, what do I bring to the table? For 20 years, I work in public service, helping ex-offenders reintegrate. Then in a charity supporting cancer patients. At the same time, I did grassroots work and served as a town councillor for 10 years. Last but not least, I'm a Lao Peng, an old NS man. I volunteered to serve beyond the 10-year cycle. I'm in the armed forces for 20 years. I gave 20 years of my life serving the underprivileged, serving Singaporeans, serving our country. And now, if you give me the chance, I want to dedicate the next 20 years of my life serving you. Will give me the chance to serve you. From my walkabouts in the past few days, I heard many concerns. One resident said, "Hey Kenneth, Tampines Changkat, I got this sunrise smiles breakfast, $2 only." They worried if Workers' Party wins, will this breakfast be gone? I ask you, residents of Tampines Changkat, would you be bought over by just a $2 breakfast? Let's break it down. $2,000 可以吃海天楼了。First, why do we need to have a special offer in the first place? This is because cost of living is escalating. Inflation goes up. And Singaporeans like you and me are feeling the pinch. Second, who absorbs the cost? It's the business owners. Their costs go up, they'll pass it back to us again. So don't be fooled. There's no free lunch. Third, even if CDC is paying for the difference, ask yourself again, would you just go PAP because of this $2 breakfast that they give you? Come on lah, PAP. With your multi-million cabinet, you can do better than this for Singaporeans. Did you know, in fiscal year 2024, our overall budget surplus was $2.6 billion. And this fiscal year 2025, our budget surplus is expected to be even higher at $2.7 billion. If the PAP really want to treat you, they need more than kopi, kaya toast, ice cream. Ask them to bring out the siu mai ha gao xiao long bao. And I say also free flow of roti prata as well. So I say, Singaporeans, don't be taken for a ride. If something feels like a scam, call Scam Shield. Or better, vote for the Workers' Party to block the nonsense. I must finish the speech, not the later Feng Fei Fei come and summon me. Some of you may also fear if WP wins, will Tampines Changkat be neglected? I give my promise that it won't be neglected. Will it become a slum, like what PAP used to say about Hougang SMC? Yeah, right. Let me tell you, I've lived in Hougang for 30 years of my life. I know what PAP will throw at us, but Hougang never give up. We fought back. Yes. Because we got the courage to believe, and we have the ability to make things better for ourselves. When the PAP say, no sheltered linkway, no problem. Hougang Town Council use our funds, we build our own. When they say lift upgrading delayed, no problem. The residents say, I will carry the bicycle up the stairs myself. No town council, no problem. Mr. Lau, build it from zero. This is the Singaporean spirit. We don't live in fear. We live with hope. And this is what we fight for. And I promise, if elected, I will fight till my last breath for the welfare of Tampines Changkat residents. Now, the question is, are you with us? If you are, let's start building the Tampines Changkat spirit. And I ask you to vote for me and my fellow Workers' Party candidates into Parliament on May the 3rd. And so, on May the 4th, may the force be with us. Vote for the Workers' Party so we can keep working for you and for Singapore. The difficulty of an SMC candidate is that he has to speak 2 languages. So, please bear with me. 亲爱的选民，大家晚上好。在我开始演讲前，我想说声谢谢大家辛苦了。我知道当下你们还面对着许多挑战，例如生活费高涨、物价高涨、就业保障、组织家庭和养儿育女等等等等，对吗？最糟的是薪水没有涨。你觉得行动党了解你的苦吗？上班来了。Okay, I have a special privilege tonight. I can speak for 10 minutes. So I ignore this for now. Yeah. 今晚我想和大家谈谈有关一个忘恩负义的故事，要听吗？有一次我走访时，跟一位居民谈话，对方指责我们反对党忘恩负义。他说：“行动党做得很好，你们别来我们的集选区竞选，不然可能害得我们好像阿玉一样失去杨荣文啊。”他说的这句话令我匪夷所思。我想请问大家，集选区制度不是行动党推行的吗？Relax。他们声称华裔选民不会投票给少数群族的候选人，必须有集选区才能确保少数民族在国会上会有代表和声音。不过各位，在1981年，工人党已故前秘书长雷热南赢得安顺补选。在2016年5级8都补选中，行动党候选人穆莱里也胜出了。这证明行动党的假设，少数民族在华人人口居多的选区里面当选的机会是渺茫的，是个错误。当初是这样，现在也是这样。既然集选区制度是行动党推行的，这个制度也导致他们败选，怪不得工人党。成也萧何，败也萧何。行动党自食其果，不可以赖别人，对吗？所以工人党一直以来主张恢复单选区制，以1人1票的方式选出自己以为有人才并有能力代表选民的议员。I'm going to continue to ignore her for a while. Yeah. 可以吗？众怒难犯啊！呀，因此我不打喊了。我跟我们的秘书长说，我要出征单选区，和 BAB 的候选人单挑。我请上亿的选民和我并肩作战， 不畏强权，打破一党独大的局面，让上一区名垂千史。我其实还有一个 story 要讲。OK 啦，他们讲没有时间聊了。OK， 没有办法，我的 story 很长。但所谓万事俱备，只欠东风。现在能不能把工人党的团队这些具备有献身精神的人，而有才干的候选人选入国会，成为大家的代表，就差你手中的那一张票了。我希望当兵营上虞的居民给我这个机会为你服务。我虽不才，从年轻的时候就爱读《三国演义》，其中最让我热血沸腾的就是诸葛亮写的《出师表》。收了，我要收了，不用怕，要收了。引述他的名言：我希望为选民鞠躬尽瘁，死而后已。谢谢大家，请投工人党一票，让我们为国效劳。
Thank you, Kenneth, for your wonderful Tampines plan. I'm very sure if you get elected, your Tampines plan is going to be much better than the East Coast plan. Okay, the next speaker is a candidate from the Tampines GRC. He is Dr. Ong Lue Ping, 淡滨尼集选区候选人王瑞斌。
My fellow Singaporeans and dear residents of Tampines GRC, a very good evening to you. I am Dr. Ong Lue Ping. I am a father of 3 teenagers aged between 14 and 19. Cowboy, enough or not? Like most parents, I wish my children can grow up to be safe, healthy, and happy. While I believe they have a good chance to grow up safe and healthy here, I am not confident that they can grow up happy in our current Singapore. As a veteran parent of 3 PSLEs, I have experienced firsthand the stress and anxiety faced by our students and their parents. And like most of you, I worry about the rising cost of living in Singapore and its impact on our families. My fellow parents, I want to ask you these questions. Do you constantly worry and ask yourself these questions every single day and night? Can we provide well for our family and our children? Can our children find jobs after their education? Can they even afford a HDB when they grow up? In my work as a psychologist at the Institute of Mental Health for the past 22 years, I have witnessed firsthand the negative impact of our pressure cooker system on the mental health and well-being of our Singaporeans, especially our young people. Every day, my colleagues and I fight tooth and nail to help our patients overcome their emotional struggles. But we often feel helpless when systematic and structural factors are the things that affect the mental health of our patients. Despite the challenges, I have stayed so long in public healthcare service and not go to private practice like some doctors that we know in Tampines because I want to help all my fellow Singaporeans regardless of their status and income level. But in my heart of hearts, I know I should do more for the country I love and the Singapore I'm grateful for. From my professional expertise, I am keenly aware of the potential danger of groupthink when suboptimum decisions are made to conform to group norms and unity. As a Singaporean, one of my greatest concerns is the development of groupthink in the highest decision-making body of the land and its impact on ordinary Singaporeans. Therefore, I'm closely aligned to the Workers' Party's conviction that there needs to be more loyal and patriotic Singaporeans who dare speak truth to power in Parliament on behalf of you, my fellow Singaporeans. I know some of you may have heard this before, but I would like to share this again because this is the core reason why I gave up my senior leadership position in a public hospital to join the Workers' Party. In my younger days, I used to subscribe to the government's philosophy that a rising tide lifts all boats. However, after years of public service, I begin to realize that this principle only works if all the boats are built the same and are sailing in calm waters. In reality, only the most privileged in society gets to sail in cruise ships. And what do us ordinary Singaporeans sail in? Bumboats. And what do the most disadvantaged and vulnerable in our society sail in? Sampans. In our current volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous VUCA times, a rising tide may still lift a cruise ship, even in stormy and choppy waters, but will likely overturn some of the bumboats and sink most of the sampans. To make matters worse, in this stormy climate, we ordinary Singaporeans have to endure a lightning strike of 8%, and then another lightning strike of 9%. Therefore, I think there is an urgent need for us to advocate for more socially just and equitable policies to address the structural challenges of our sampans and bumboats. My fellow Singaporeans, the Workers' Party recognizes that in any policies, there are always trade-offs. The question for me is not so much what are the trade-offs, but more of who are the ones being traded off. Therefore, I believe there is a need for more people to stand up, to speak up for those who are left out and left behind in this policy trade-off. My friends, I have spent my entire career in the past 22 years helping my patients overcome their daily struggles. Now, I think it's time for me to step up and step forward with the Workers' Party to also address the daily struggles of my fellow Singaporeans in Parliament. Thank you. The PAP tells us they will never gamble with the future of Singapore and the well-being of Singaporeans. Let me tell them this. It is no longer about gamble anymore because you have already lost touch with ordinary Singaporeans. You have already lost the well-being of Singaporeans. You have already lost the future of Singaporeans' young people who no longer see a future in Singapore. So, to the young and not so old, if you desire, like us, to hammer the nails of social injustice and inequality in Singapore, support us and the Workers' Party. And to our pioneer and Merdeka generations, sir and ma'ams, we owe you a debt of gratitude for your service to the nation. But now, we have to ask you to do a little bit more. If you desire for more people who dare to speak truth to power in Parliament on behalf of you, support us and the Workers' Party. And finally, to my peers in our 40s, whom I affectionately term ourselves as the Marikita generation. Guys, we have lived half of our life. It is time to decide what we want to do for the second half of our lives. Do we want our children and future generations of Singaporeans to be burdened by the siege mentality and the perpetual state of vulnerability that our generation has been burdened with? Or do we want to stand up together to tell the PAP 4G leaders that Singapore's best is yet to be? And together, let's be the hope of a better age for Singapore. My friends and my fellow Singaporeans, I am Dr. Ong Lui Ping, a worried father, a dedicated public healthcare psychologist, and a loyal Singaporean. This is who I am, and building an inclusive, fair, happy, and a better Singapore is what I stand for. Vote for the Workers' Party. Working for you, working for Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ong. Another respectable candidate that has stepped down from his job to step up for Singaporeans. The next candidate that we have is also from the Tampines GRC. She is Eileen Chong Pei Shan, 蒋佩珊淡滨尼集选区的候选人，欢迎她上台。
各位淡滨尼集选区的居民和工人党的支持者，大家晚上好。我是工人党淡滨尼集选区的候选人蒋佩珊，也是 Tampines Plan 的一份子。我这几日伫淡滨尼走行的时阵，真侪 uncle and auntie 问我， 你读了大学做外交官，到底是做什么的？我今日来甲你人讲，简单讲，会使用3个字来解释，包甲了啊。但是咧，我的福建话无安尼好，我即阵会用东人话来讲啊。外交官必须注意什么？分析其他国家的政治、经济和外交境况，并与其他政府部门一起推进双边和多边的合作。我们也参与策划总统、总理以及其他部长海外的出访行程，并陪同他们出访。其中最重要的任务就包括在为国外遇见困难的新加坡人提供领事服务。身为外交官，我为国家和人民服务了将近7年的时间。如今，我以工人党候选人的身份站在你们的面前，希望当宾尼的集选区的选民们能给我以另一个方式为新加坡效劳。谢谢。好，讲到当宾尼集选区的选民，这几日真多阿公阿嬷安弟哥甲我讲，因人今日会来到支持我人，你人有来无？ Thank you。真欢喜有看到安尼多阿公阿嬷安弟哥来支持我人，你人可能特别想我安怎安尼款问？因为咧，我今日想甲你人讲，有关我的2个偶像，我的2个阿嬷，因人今年已經80幾歲了，因人一世人行了翁婿，行了子孫，給了社會，給了國家。他們把青春奉獻給了家庭和國家，靠着打各種各樣的雜工，把孩子養大。孩子成家後，他們繼續把人生的黃金時期貢獻給他們的孫子和家人。在他們的有生之年，新加坡經歷了天翻地覆的變化。如今年長的他們，因為年輕的時候打雜工，所以公積金不多。孩子們工作成家以後，雖然也給他們家用，可是他們依舊堅持節儉就是美德，希望能省則省，幫孩子減輕負擔。疫情以後的物價高漲，讓他們承受更大的生活壓力。平時在樓下跟朋友啉咖啡，一杯咖啡哦，從8角9角起到1.2、1.3。請問你們家附近的咖啡店的咖啡哦，是不是也越來越貴？身為一名前外交官，還有前公務員，我知道也相信，新加坡的公務體系的政策制定的初衷肯定是好的，可是好的初衷並不夠。我們要保持政策的力度，也要確保執行時候的溫度。制定和執行之間是有落差，而偏差意味着往往有很多被忽視的群體，他們可能是沒有社會支持體系的獨居樂齡人士，也有可能是愁着怎麼用一份薪水同時供養3代人的夾心層。因為如此，我們工人黨建議，第一，我們應該取消慢性疾病保健儲蓄 MediSave 的提款上限，長輩們不應該在藥物和一日3餐之間做選擇，對不對？第二，我們應該改善我們的醫院補貼資格標準，尤其是要取消那些沒有收入的人以房屋年值的評估。為什麼？因為阿公阿嬷幾十年前買的屋子，可不可以拿來付今天的醫藥費？對了，第三，我們應該為樂齡以及身心殘障的人士免費提供乘坐公共交通。這個不是為了經濟救濟，我們是希望尊重他們可以出行自由、自主還有安全。謝謝。第四，我們應該為帶薪的照顧家庭假立法，為了更好照顧到又要在職場打拼，同時又要看護年邁父母的夾心層人士，減輕他們的負擔，你說對不對？第五，在當今大部分的公共服務都變成 digital 的時候，有一部分的阿公阿嬷是不是不懂得怎麼樣用智能手機？ 所以我们应该积极的提供更多在 polyclinic 无需要预约就就诊的机会，方便他们可以需要的时候就就诊，对不对？我相信以上的建议是一个富有同理心的社会所应该有的基础。在每一位有家人或者朋友为他们发声的阿公阿嬷背后，我们都有着另一名默默受这苦的阿公阿嬷。他们可能是没有子女的寡妇，或者是一个唔捌字的阿嬷。所以我们不应该只用我们的生产总值去衡量我们国家的成功。我觉得我们应该用帮助弱势群体的政策的力量来衡量。也因为按这个标准，我觉得我们还有更多需要进步的空间，大家觉不觉得？所以我们应不应该为我们年长的阿公阿嬷多做一点？我们可不可以为上有老下有小的新加坡人多做一点？我们想不想出力创造一个更美好的新加坡？我希望这次的大选里面，你们可以把宝贵的一票投给我们工人党，让我们在国会为你们发声，为国家为你们效劳。请投工人党一票，请投我人，请为我人的国家投一票，给我人机会为新加坡效打拼。万是工人党，感谢，谢谢。
Thank you, Eileen, for your amazing Hokkien speech. Next up, we have our final candidate for the Tampines GRC. I'm sure you guys have all been waiting for him. He is Muhammad Faisal bin Abdul Manaf. Let's welcome him.
Thank you, everyone. Waving to my KB resident and volunteers. Good evening. Assalamualaikum. Oh, bagus. Dan selamat Hari Raya. Wan Xiang Hao. Vanakkam. Thank you. Thank you so much, fellow Singaporeans, especially voters of Tampines GRC. Wah Faisal. My name is Muhammad Faisal. Age 50. I'm married with a lovely wife. Only one wife, and have 3 children. Okay, this is my 4th GE. I was, as many of you have known it, the unit GRC member of Parliament for 3 terms. 2011, 2015, 2020, and 2025. Where? Tampines! Tampines! For this GE, I'm humbled to be given the trust by WP's leadership to lead a team contesting in this Tampines GRC. I'm very heartened and very grateful to my teammates, Dr. Liu Ping, Miss Eileen Chong, Mr. Jimmy Tan, the singer, and where's Michael Teng? Okay. You heard him speak just now, right? Spoke just now? Okay, all of them, I really appreciate what they've done. They've stepped out from their comfort zone and step up to be part of this wholesome and dynamic team. Here we are, offering our humble self to serve Tampines
residents, and God willing, be the elected representative of Tampines GRC come 4th May. Why I say 4th, not 3rd? Because the official result will be announced normally in the early morning of 4th May. Last time, Adjunet GRC 3 in the morning. But we know quite early lah. But don't know what they want to announce. Okay? Okay, in fact, not only residents of Tampines, the same for residents of Hougang, Adjunet, Sengkang, Punggol, East Coast, Jalan Kayu, Tampines Cangkat. May the 4th be with all of you. Thank you. We have limited time. Okay, before I share one very important point on Singapore politics, I would like to say a few words to my former constituents of Kaki Bukit Ward of Adjunet GRC. Hopefully I don't cry. Residents of Kaki Bukit Ward of Adjunet GRC. With full of humility, my heartfelt thanks to you for turning me into a better person in my 14 years life journey with you all. Yes, I'm sad that my journey has come to an end at Kaki Bukit, but I believe the wonderful residents of Kaki Bukit will understand why I must make this move. And a big and sincerest thanks also to all my dedicated and committed KB volunteers. Where are they? And also staff of AHTC for the wonderful bond and kinships. Again, with full of humility and sincerity, I seek your forgiveness for all my shortcomings during my 14 years of service in Kaki Bukit. Now, allow me to pledge my commitment and recite my oath to you, residents of Tampines GRC. I am a minority candidate, a Malay Muslim. Regardless, I will serve the residents of Tampines GRC regardless of race, language, or religion equally and to the best of my ability. Similar to how I serve my multiracial and multi-religious communities in my former Kaki Bukit ward. This is my commitment and my oath, witnessed by all of you and God. Fellow Singaporeans, I will now speak on the need for checks and balance, which is the fundamental tenet of a democratic society. I believe many of you here will remember that many years ago, our President, Mr. Tharman, who was then Finance Minister, was quoted as saying that he thinks a strong opposition is good for the PAP and for Singapore. He said good, good for Singapore and good for the PAP, right? More recently, in a podcast interview with the Straits Times in March this year, Minister Ong Ye Kung did touch on the point that the elections are about producing an effective system of government. It was reported that he mentioned, I quote, "Of course, in people's minds now, they are thinking it's a good outcome, that is, a PAP government, but with the opposition as check and balance. That's a good system of government. I don't disagree," unquote. I would like to thank our President, Mr. Tharman, and Mr. Ong Ye Kung for acknowledging the need for a strong opposition for the betterment of Singapore.
Fellow Singaporeans, the next question is why the Workers' Party? Why WP? It is because we, the Workers' Party, are a loyal opposition. Loyal to who? Yes, loyal to Singapore and loyal to all of you Singaporeans. WP work hard as we want Singapore to remain as a shiny red dot. WP will work hard as we want Singapore to be a warm home and affordable place to live in for ourselves, for our family and our generations to come. WP will work hard so Singaporeans can have a balanced and a dignified life. WP will work hard so Singaporeans could enjoy their life upon retirement. WP will work hard to build a caring, inclusive, a democratic society so as to achieve happiness and progress for our nation. Fellow Singaporeans, especially voters of Tampines GRC, how does WP plan to do this? WP has produced a 122 pages manifesto featuring 125 policy proposals. Apart from these proposals, we have also reflected 15 policies which have been adopted in some form. I do hope you find the time to go through our proposal. You cannot go through, no time already. See, I haven't do time in Malay. Okay.
Overtime.
Cannot lah. Kita yellow card, red card come. Okay. Rest assured, okay, the Workers' Party MP will be your voice, fight for you, your future generations in a rational, responsible, and respectable manner, regardless whatever the challenges, trials, turbulences, allegations, the hardship we face. Because the Workers' Party is a loyal opposition, loyal to Singapore, loyal to Singaporeans. Vote for the Workers' Party, working for Tampines GRC, working for Singapore. Okay, now let me talk to my abang-abang and kakak-kakak kan. Para hadirin yang dihormati, sekarang saya nak berkongsi tentang beberapa semak dan imbang yang merupakan salah satu prinsip asas masyarakat demokratik. Saya percaya anda semua masih ingat di mana Presiden kita Encik Tharman semasa beliau masih Menteri Kewangan dilaporkan berkata, beliau berpendapat kewujudan pihak pembangkang yang kukuh itu baik untuk PAP dan juga untuk Singapura. Baru-baru ini pula, Menteri Ong Ye Kang dalam wawancara podcast dengan Straits Times pada bulan Mac tahun ini ada mengatakan yang tujuan pilihan raya adalah untuk menghasilkan sistem pemerintahan yang lebih berkesan. Juga dilaporkan di mana beliau berkata sudah tentu dalam pemikiran orang ramai sekarang hasil yang baik adalah PAP sebagai pemerintah dan parti pembangkang sebagai semak dan imbang. Itu adalah sebuah sistem pemerintahan yang bagus. Dan dia juga mengatakan, saya tak menafikan. Saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Presiden kita Encik Tharman dan juga Menteri Ong Ye Kang kerana mengakui perlunya ada pihak pembangkang yang kukuh demi kebaikan Singapura. Saya pendekkan sikitlah. Okay. InsyaAllah, saya menjamin, saya memberi jaminan, Parti Pekerja akan jadi suara anda dan terus berjuang untuk anda dan generasi anda yang akan datang secara rasional dan bertanggungjawab dan berhemah. Tidak kira cabaran, ujian, dakwaan dan kesusahan yang harus kami tempuhi. Kerana Parti Pekerja adalah pihak pembangkang yang setia. Setia kepada Singapura, setia kepada rakyat Singapura. Undilah Parti Pekerja. Undi siapa? Undi siapa? Tak kuat lah. Nanti saya tak ada semangat. Hang Faizal Manaf tak ada semangat tu untuk berjuang nanti. Kuat sikit. Undi tu siapa? Undilah parti pekerja. Pekerja untuk GRC Tampines. Pekerja untuk Singapura. Before that, I just basically want to share with you. Okay, earlier yesterday and today, actually I got a bit of a tingling sensation in my heart. Okay, as you know, that back in mid-2023, I had gone through medical procedure for heart attack. So I thought I was having another heart condition. But after a while, I realized that the tingling feeling might be due to a medical condition known as melting heart. You have heard about this medical condition? No. It is a condition where I believe any heart started to melt because of the so much warmth, support, and patience showed by the residents of Tampines in the last few days. Welcoming me and my teammates here in Tampines GRC. It makes me feel like the balik kampung feeling. It makes me feel that I'm still in Kaki Bukit ward of Aljunied GRC. Thank you, Tampines GRC residents, for making me feel at home for the past few days. And looking forward to make Tampines GRC as my second home for the next 5 years. Vote for Workers' Party, working for Singapore, working for Tampines GRC. Thank you.
Faisal, for stepping out of your comfort zone of Aljunied GRC to step up for Tampines GRC. We are now at the last speech of the night, and we still have our last speaker that will be coming forward to speak to all of you. He is the leader of the opposition, Mr. Pritam Singh.
Thank you. Thank you, Tampines. My fellow Singaporeans, residents of Tampines GRC and Tampines Changkat SMC, good evening. As Singapore works to orientate itself to take advantage of the transition to a new world order, the Workers' Party's commitment is that we will always work for Singapore. Our manifesto advances our vision for Singapore, for not only the country we would like to see, but the Tampines we would like to see. The Workers' Party will push for policies to better address matters such as high rental costs for businesses and help Singaporeans to bounce back from hard times, more Medisave flexibility for seniors, and more affordable public housing. We have advanced many practical proposals in our manifesto that appeal to the heart and the head of Singaporeans. Regardless of race, language, or religion, our proposals appeal to our common humanity as one Singapore and our unity as one people. Now I know that Tampines hosts many savvy and sophisticated voters. I understand there are voters who have put the PAP manifesto and the WP manifesto through large language AI models and compared how they stack up against one another. Now, whichever AI model you choose, either ChatGPT or DeepSeek, one result is clear.
The PAP manifesto is short on substance and specifics. But it is loaded with motherhood statements. Now, why is this a problem? The Singapore of the 1G PAP of 1965 had a population of less than 2 million people. Today, the 4G PAP oversees a Singapore with a population of more than 6 million people. Singapore is a far more complex society and it will always need fresh thinking. Yet, we have a PAP manifesto without specific policy ideas. I believe it is because the PAP wants Singaporeans to sign a blank check. The PAP manifesto is short on specific proposals and policies. Ironically, this is one reason why there are Singaporeans who believe that as long as we have a strong and incorruptible civil service, the PAP is far less important than it thinks. Look at the PAP manifesto chapter on housing affordability, something so many Singaporeans worry about. The PAP promises to keep HDB flats affordable. But how? The only solution I can see is to increase taxpayer subsidies. Where will the taxes come from with ever-increasing land prices? They'll come from all of us. And what about lease decay? What happens when HDB flats run out their leases? They are returned to the state and they have no value. The PAP has proposed VERS, the Voluntary Early Redevelopment Scheme. But when the WP asks for details in Parliament, the PAP says, akan datang. VERS is many years away. But Singaporeans, especially those who purchase resale flats, need those details now, so they can plan for the future and their retirement and their golden years. Many families are buying resale flats with 60 or 70 years left on the lease at prices nearing or even surpassing $1 million. These families need more details about VERS before their resale flats start to lose value and before the families are left with little in retirement savings. What does the PAP manifesto say about this concern? Nothing at all. The PAP expects the civil service to work out the options and the policy details in good time, no doubt. But when these ideas are taken up by the PAP and debated in Parliament, it is important that we have a rational, responsible and respectable debate in Parliament about it, not a rubber stamp. This is what our vote for the Workers' Party will give the residents of Tampines GRC and Tampines Changkat SMC. Your voice deserves a place in Parliament. A vote for the Workers' Party will bring it there. At these general elections, 2 Workers' Party candidates in single-member constituencies are taking on 2 PAP candidates who are also the NTUC Secretary General and an NTUC Assistant Secretary General, respectively. Residents of Tampines, there is no shortage of PAP Labour MPs in Parliament. Voting in these 2 PAP NTUC candidates will not make a difference. Instead, I invite you to cast your vote for a more balanced Parliament. Please vote for Kenneth Foo in Tampines Changkat SMC and vote for Andre Loh in Jalan Kayu SMC. Voting them into Parliament will make a difference. Now let me talk about PAP candidates and the NTUC. In 2015, in the Kaki Bukit division of Aljunied GRC, the
The PAP candidate was Shamsul Kama. He was a school teacher before the elections and he resigned to contest elections. But after losing the elections, he found employment in NTUC. NTUC is a safe harbor for losing PAP candidates. Just ask Ng Chee Meng. If the two PAP candidates do not become MPs, they will probably continue to work in NTUC. They will continue to serve workers with the help of rank and file unionists and workers who are truly the backbone of NTUC. Now, a few days before the writ of election was issued, one social media site proclaimed that the NTUC Secretary General's leadership at NTUC drove the launch of the Job Seeker Support Scheme. Ng Chee Meng's work at NTUC shows that he and Desmond Chu do not need to be elected to Parliament to look after workers. I ask all voters and Singaporeans, keep them focused on their NTUC jobs. The PAP team for Aljunied GRC in these elections would probably agree with me. When they were introduced to the public some weeks ago, one member said that because his team had no anchor minister and because they were not political office holders, they would have more time to be on the ground and engage more. This PAP candidate was basically telling you it is better not to have a PAP office holder as your MP. So let's follow his logic. We need to give the PAP candidates more time for their NTUC work so they can come up with new ideas or maybe even implement WP ideas. If you give the Workers' Party candidates your votes, then as MPs they will work hard on the ground. Kenneth Foo and Andre Low will look after the town councils in Tampines, Changkat and Jalan Kayu. They will also be part of the loyal opposition in Singapore. In Parliament, working for all of you. Tampines wins, Tampines Changkat wins, Jalan Kayu wins, Singapore wins, everybody wins! But you may ask, some of you may ask, don't we need PAP NTUC MPs in Parliament? But here is what happened last year. Many Singaporeans spoke up against the proposed sale of income insurance by NTUC Enterprise to Allianz when it came to light. But members of Parliament only had the opportunity to question the government in Parliament on the proposed sale of NTUC income for the first time in August 2024. Workers' Party MPs promptly filed questions to call on the government to explain. Not a single PAP Labour MP asked question about this issue in Parliament in August 2024. Sadly, only one mainstream media outlet saw fit to report on the silence of the PAP Labour MPs. The news outlet Channel News Asia reported, and I quote, "At the Parliament sitting on the 6th of August, when the topic was brought to the fore, no Labour MPs filed any questions or spoke during the debate." My fellow Singaporeans, can you believe that? How is that even possible? Elected PAP MPs who champion NTUC, the union, and workers who represent them should fight hard in Parliament when NTUC issues are raised, particularly issues that Singaporeans are concerned about. Why were they silent? Now, to be clear, union work is not easy. persuading workers while speaking up for them behind closed doors can be difficult work. I believe that rank and file unionists work hard and push hard for better rights for workers because of their passion for workers. I thank them for that. So Singapore, let us help the PAP candidates in Jalan Kayu and Tampines Changkat, who are the top leaders in NTUC, to be full-time NTUC union leaders. We should save them from spending time in parliament and from managing town councils. If they wish to, they can still lobby the PAP government by virtue of NTUC's symbiotic relationship with the PAP. The NTUC's close relationship with the PAP ensures that NTUC is a guaranteed trampoline for losing PAP candidates. It is the safest trampoline for a politician anywhere in Singapore and maybe anywhere in the world. But you must be a PAP candidate to earn the right to bounce on it. Now, my friends, election come around only once every 5 years. On the 3rd of May, we have an excellent opportunity to build a more robust and balanced political system. Parliament should be where we discuss and where justified support pro-Singapore initiatives, regardless of political party. And the only symbiotic relationship the Workers' Party is interested in is a symbiotic relationship with all Singaporeans. Parliament is where the Workers' Party will work hard for you rationally and responsibly. Vote the Workers' Party, working for Singapore. Now, let me end my speech with the Workers' Party rallying a cry for all our workers. It is different from the PAPs. Please repeat after me. Majulah Singapura! Majulah Singapura! Majulah Singapura! Thank you. Now, my fellow Singaporeans, before I end, I want to share some thoughts on the Prime Minister's press conference earlier this afternoon. It was a serious press conference, so please hear me out. The Prime Minister took a break from the political campaign to speak as a Singaporean. He said, and I quote, "I'm not here to talk about my concerns about the party. I'm here to talk about my concerns for Singapore and our country," unquote. So let me give the Prime Minister the courtesy of doing the same for the next 1 minute. I'm a Singaporean. This is the only home I know. I don't have investment properties overseas. I entered politics to advance and champion a better Singapore than the one I was born in. One that is more just and fairer for all Singaporeans, including our minorities. I passionately believe in a race-neutral Singapore where we are judged not by our race or the color of our skin, but by our deeds and our common humanity. My colleagues and I categorically reject the involvement of any foreign element whatsoever in our domestic politics. Singapore is our business, nobody else's. And if I can put on my party hat to any foreign element, the Workers' Party does not need your support. We only need the support of our people, our fellow Singaporeans. Thank you, Tampines. Thank you, Tampines Changkat. Have a good evening. Thank you. Just like our first rally, a small request for everyone. Please go home safely. Make sure every single piece of litter is cleared from the school compound. and I'll see you at our next rally. All the very best. Thank you.
Ankle!
Thank you, everyone. We have come to the end of the Workers' Party rally. Please exit the venue calmly, slowly, and orderly because the exit can be quite narrow for this crowd. So we seek your cooperation and we see you at our next rally. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Where is the next rally?
Thank you, Alexis.
Oh, the barricade not everybody follow. Exactly. Walao, they come out come down there. Worker party Where do you stand there? Where you stand? Yeah. I think it's the road. Yeah, the road to water. I don't know. I'm not familiar. They never block them. Okay, yeah. Yeah.